sorry, I forgot. She was asked to wash top and tail and slice 4 carrots and wash 2 baked potatoes. So she's washing and cutting up the carrots, and she says, "That's a lot of carrots." And so I say, "Well, I like carrots." And then she comes to the baked potatoes. She washes one, which is quite large, and she says, "Are you sure you want another one? This is a big potato." And so I tell her, "The other one's for my daughter." And she said, "I'm not here to make dinner for your daughter. I'm only allowed to make dinner for you." I said, "But all you have to do is wash the potato, and it's already fairly clean. You just have to rinse, put it under the tap." You won't believe what she does at this point. Any guesses? She says, "Just a minute then," and she pulls out from her pocket her phone, says, I'll check with my supervisor." She phones her supervisor up and says something like, "I'm just wanting to confirm that I'm only here to prepare vegetables for the client and not her family." And clearly the supervisor agrees. And so I say, "Can I speak to your supervisor?" So I go on the phone and I say, "Do you realize that what's in dispute here is whether or not she washes 1 baked potato? That's all she has to do, is to rinse 1 baked potato for my daughter. The rest is all done. Are you telling me that she's not allowed to wash 1 baked potato for my daughter?" "Yes," said the supervisor to me. Well, honestly, I kind of gave up at that point. Handed the phone back. So needless to say, relations with the care worker were not very good after that. And after the chicken dish went into the oven, the carer said she would go into my room, my bedroom, and do the commodes or something like that. And at this point, I thought, "Do you know what? I don't want this woman in my house anymore." And so I said to her, "I'd rather you didn't. I'd rather you just left." No, it's all right. I'll just do this." And that got me even more annoyed, because I'd asked her to leave and she'd said no, she would do what she wanted, which was do my commodes. So. And at this point, I really lost it, and I shouted through to the room, "I cannot believe that someone would be so petty to not wash 1 baked potato." And the woman shouted back, "I'm just following rules." At which point I said, "Well, forget about rules and use some fucking common sense for a change." And at that point, well, that was clearly, we're not going to work together, are we? So I phoned up and asked not to have that carer again, and I didn't. It'd be interesting to hear what you make of that yourselves. But you see, in terms of an excellent worker, care worker, would never be in that situation. Never. An excellent worker would just wash the damn potato. Of course. It's so crazy. You know, my daughter had prepared the chicken. It was in the casserole dish. She didn't have time to do the veg. All she had to do was less than 5 minutes food preparation work. And an excellent worker will come and go with you. A worker who is, in my opinion, really bad doesn't think for themselves. They go by rules. They're terrified of rules. Well, in fact, what they see is rules. But I don't believe they are rules. I believe they're guidelines. And there's a world of difference between rules and guidelines. I talk about this in another video. But nonetheless, yeah, that's one of the differences between an excellent worker and one that just goes through the motions. You get the impression that she doesn't really want to be here. She doesn't really want to do the task. She doesn't want to be with you. She's not enjoying it and wants out the door as soon as possible. Maybe her life is full of bad stuff or something like that. That's the kind of impression that you get. And that is not someone you want to be around you in your home when you're going through a healing process and are in recovery. That is not helpful. In fact, it's quite unhelpful. When you're healing, any help that you can get towards your experience in life being uplifted or made lighter or more enjoyable, all of that helps towards healing. Being in the company of someone who's miserable, not happy with what they're doing, gives the impression that they're hating something, is not good to be around. I think carers have a responsibility to, when they enter into your house, think about what they're bringing into the house. And even on a bad day, give some thought to how they can handle their own bad day as best they can, so they're not making your day worse. Do you know something? Even if she had said, "This is the worst day of my life, X and Y have happened," that would have been fine. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't have minded if I'd had some communication. But there was nothing, absolutely nothing, except very rigid rule following to the point of ridiculousness. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. See what you make of it.